What up, everybody? BMF Season 3, Episode 9, when Meech and T were in Miami, they got a call from Javier, the translator for their plug Loco, demanding that Meech pick up the shipment from the Miami port. Meech saw this as an opportunity to pick up their own weight and control shipments from the port. Meech told T what we saw them doing in Miami would be the blueprint for the rest of their lives. This was talking about controlling their own shipment from the port, as well as having hidden safes in their vehicles that could go undetected by the Red Dogs. Meech said if they could go undetected by the Red Dogs, then they would be able to get past any other local police unit as well, because the Red Dogs was the toughest of them all. And the vans passed the Red Dogs inspection at the end of episode 9, even though they were still impounded in the process after receiving an anonymous tip. Meech told T that was everything that they had and everything that they had worked for. So a big question going into the season finale is, will they be able to get those vans back and keep business moving as normal, or will Meech be starting over from nothing? Because we got to keep in mind that picking up their weight from Miami is not their normal routine. They normally have their shipment flown into Detroit like we saw in episode 4, or delivered to them in Atlanta. Then they use Atlanta as a hub to move their product into the other markets, St. Louis, Cleveland, and Detroit. But now that they have to pick their product directly from the port, they plan on making Miami their new hub. But the big question is, why did Javier call with the sudden change of plans? And also, why did he sound so frantic when he was on the phone with Meech? I think this is because the Miami Coke route is drying up and becoming too hot to continue bringing product through. So because of this, at the end of episode 10, I'm expecting either the pilot to get arrested or the pilot to snitch on Loco and Loco would get arrested. Something that shuts down BMF's operation completely for a little while until Meech finds a new plug. Keep it in mind that Meech's first Colombian plug, Cena, already got locked up in episode 2. And in real life, by the mid-90s, the Colombian drug route to Miami had completely dried up. The biggest Colombian drug lord of the time, Pablo Escobar, died in 1993. So this is around the same time period as the current BMF timeline when things got hot and the route dried up. Because of that, at the end of the episode, we could see Meech either leaving for LA or possibly finding out about Loco getting arrested. This is why it's going to be very important to see if they get those vans back that had all that weight. Last time we heard numbers about how many keys they were getting from Loco, it was 2,500. But at the same time, we don't know if that's still their usual shipment, because they had to flood the market and barely even make a profit to get all those bricks off. But now if Loco gets arrested and they're stuck with a couple thousand keys, they're going to have to do the opposite of what they normally do, playing hot potato. They're going to have to sit on those bricks and piece them out a little bit at a time to get the most money they can. But what's even worse is when there's a drought that hits that you're not expecting, where they will move the weight like normal, but then turn around to the plug only to find out it's a drought and you can't re-up. But if Meech and T can't even get the vans back from the Red Dogs and the drought hits, things are going to be even more crucial. Keep it in mind, Wayne Joyner said on the documentary when he met Meech, Meech told him he'd been a millionaire a couple times already, but he was fucked up at the time. So this drought could be anywhere from kind of bad for Meech and T if they get all the work back and have to piece it out for the most money possible until they find a new plug. Or it could be a complete disaster if they can't get the vans back. They could be starting completely over. Similar to what we saw halfway through season 2 when they scraped up $15,000 by selling the car that their cousin bought with the money he owed them and headed to Atlanta to try to make a move to get back on their feet. But because of this drought, we could potentially see season 4 BMF being the wildest season yet. Because every other time Meech and T lost one connect, it didn't take too long for them to find another plug. But this is going to be a real drought where the entire landscape of the game changes and the major players go from having a Colombian plug and the work coming in through Miami to having a Mexican plug with the work coming in through California and Texas. And during a drought is by far the most dangerous time to be in the game because nobody's eating and everyone is desperate. Because of this, robberies increase like crazy. People even try to sell fake work. And as a result of both of these things, the murder rate increases because people trying to get back on people who just robbed or scammed them out of whatever little money they had left in the drought. And on top of that, people are already mad and hot-headed because they're broke. But we know that Meech lands on his feet and ends the drought when his friend Wayne Joyner bought some weed from a guy named Green Eyes who had ties to the cartels. And the cartel had more weight than they know what to do with and gave Meech 10,000 keys. And from this time forward, for the next 10 years, BMF became the largest drug operation in the United States. So Meech's business model that he talked about in episode 9 will finally come to pass, except for the base being out of LA and not Miami. Because everyone's been asking about when's Meech going to go to California and grow out the braids. Because we all know that's when they really set it off. So with that said, we could also see the style of clothes change in season 4 to the 6X white tee era as well. This will also be when Meech meets Blue Da Vinci and the whole West Coast crew that he eventually brought back to Atlanta with him. And because I think Meech will be in LA in season 4 is why I made the video the other day with the theory about Duffy betraying Meech. I normally only get that kind of hate on my power book related videos. And I don't care when people disagree with me, but when you cross the line and start talking trash to me personally, I just go ahead and block you. Because like I said, I got no time for the back and forth on the internet. That's some weak type of shit. And it may be true that Duffy doesn't betray Meech, but from my experience in the game, I've had kids I grew up with since elementary school betray me the same hour they just got done smoking with me. So never say never, Duffy might just have a good poker face. But a fallout from Meech having to leave Atlanta again is what will become of his relationship with Angel. Meech just got back with Angel in episode 9, and it seems like he can finally have her all to himself now that Glock is out of the picture. But at the same time, I doubt Meech is going to let Angel come to LA with him either. Just like he didn't let her come with him to St. Louis. Because Big Meech got to have a different female in every city he goes to. But at the same time, Meech isn't T and doesn't want to be tied down with looking after a female while on a business trip. So a big question is, will Angel learn from her previous mistake and stay loyal to Meech and wait for him to get back to Atlanta this time? Because many think that Angel's based off Lil Meech's mother, Tara. Me personally, I am leaning in that direction that she's based on Tara as well. But as Meech got back with Angel in episode 9, T and Keisha split up for now. But because of the potential drought that's going to hit in episode 10 and carrying over into season 4, this will likely only cause more problems with T and Keisha because Keisha is a gold digger. Notice her attitude with T got even worse with T when he told her that his whole business was in jeopardy. Personally, I think that's why she left him, thinking that he was going to fall off. Either though, we know that T and Keisha will end up together in the end anyway. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.